They're really good.
They're really good. When they're in March, they're really scary.
They're going to beat you by 30, and it's going to ruin your year.
Dad used to tell me all the time. Son, don't worry about the mules, just load the wagon.
What's up, guys? Welcome to a special edition of Rock Chalk Unplugged with Chris Tehan and obviously my co-host.
What's up, everybody? Mitch here. Super excited for another episode. Today, we're going to break down a little bit of the bracket. Today is Selection Sunday. It's 6 o'clock after the show. A couple of things we want to talk about. But first, before we do that, we want to get into a breakdown of the last couple of weeks and talk about the status of Kansas basketball.
You really look at it, there's two glaring. Obviously, we lost Texas twice. That is something that you don't want to happen in a pretty embarrassing fashion in both of them. Second game, you can blame it on the long week of the Big 12 tournament. We had two grueling games. Big 12's a beast this year. Add two on the end and not having Coach Self. That's obviously a big blow. He's doing better. Statement released today said that he had stents in his heart and they don't know the timetable for him coming back, but we just pray for him and hope that everything with his recovery goes well.
Yeah, no, he's a super tough dude. I mean, he's been always pretty stubborn with us, so hopefully he can get back to being the Coach Self that we know and love. It's like Coach Rob said in his press conference, it's always next man up, and that's I think the guys did a good job this week for the most part. Obviously, the game against Texas and the championship, it sucks. It's hard to do when you're missing your Hall of Fame coach, but also at the same time when you're missing one of your best defensive players with McCullough as well and a leader. So we hope to see him back. We know he's in great hands with Ched and our training staff. So we'll hopefully get to see him in the first round of the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, and I mean, we're obviously just really talked about the losses to Texas, but besides that, we looked really good, I thought. Like our first two games in the Big 12 tournament, we showed we could score pretty consistently. Obviously, Jay Will played great. He averaged 24 and 9 in the Big 12 tournament this year, these are unreal stats, but I thought we looked great. And honestly, I came out of the weekend not in a down spot. I mean, after today, the selection show, I thought we kind of got screwed a little bit, but I came out this weekend with very positive vibe.
I think we look at the Big 12 tournament as a whole and take away a lot of positives from it. I know on Twitter, I was looking through it and you can see the fans that were really negative Nellies the entire time, or the entire time after the championship game. And I really don't agree with that. I think that you can take more positives and negatives away from that.
Yeah, and I mean, you watched the Iowa State game. There was a couple 2-3 minute stretches where I watched them, and it reminded me exactly of last year's team, but it just kind of those runs are the runs that you see teams who make big noise in March make, and we made them pretty consistently. There was a couple times clicked in my head being like, dang, if we can keep this level up, we can do some damage.
Those runs, like you said, are super important to being successful in March, because you have to be able to put good teams away,
and you have to be able to claw back too.
Yeah, and I know that everyone can complain about brackets and whatnot, but at the same point in time, people that are in March Madness are in March Madness for a reason. You're not gonna go up against weak teams. That's not a possibility. People are gonna say, hey, the first game, the 16 seed is a weak team. No, ask Virginia how that worked out for them. And I remember watching that game. We were sitting in the meeting room right before snack. Before our March Madness game. They played the day before us.
We played Penn the next day, didn't we?
Yeah, we played Penn.
We almost did the same thing to Penn. They really got.
They played with
ass.
us. Yeah, they put
the first half. 100%. They really were on us.
Yeah, so that is something that Coach Self was really stressing to us is, hey, don't let this happen to us. You're seeing what's happening in West Virginia. We need to lock in and make sure that we handle business against Penn. And of course, we did that, and that team went on to go to a Final Four, which is a crazy experience, and not a lot of guys get to go to two, but both of us were able to experience two Final Fours, and hopefully that can give us
one being a lot better than the other.
Yeah, hopefully that can give us a little insight into what it takes to be successful in March Madness and have a good bracket.
Yeah, and hey, now that we're out of the way of the last 2 weeks of Kansas basketball, last couple weeks of Kansas basketball, let's talk about the selection show and our bracket draw.
Yeah, so basically how we're going to do this, we're going to go through and break down the South, the Midwest, the West, and the East, into what we think the games are going to be like and what we think which teams are going to win. We have each of our brackets here filled out, ready to roll, signed, official. Hopefully we can get a couple of these games right.
Yeah, and also do not follow any of our picks. Neither one of us probably know exactly what's going on.
Don't follow along.
Yeah, we followed our guts, and we're gonna throw out facts, random facts, what we thought about the seedings. Just kind of give our overall opinion on it. These are strictly opinions. Yeah, very strictly opinions. Do not follow us in any. We are not professionals at this at all. I have a day job
whatsoever. So first off, let's start with the South. We're gonna get into this one a little bit. Talk about the Alabama game. They're playing Southeast Missouri.
Wait. We got to go to the first four first.
Oh, you want to go to the first four first?
We got
first four first.
My bad, guys. You can't pick your first one without going to the first four first.
My bad.
So in the South Division, we got Texas A&M Corpus Christi against Southeast Missouri State.
Thoughts on that game?
I actually have a little bit of skin in the game in this. I played with a guy that ended up at Southeast Missouri State, and they actually have had a really good year. They have a point guard transferred in, I'm pretty sure, from somewhere maybe a mid-major down to low major.
Yeah.
I think he's an 18-point a game guy, 19-point a game guy. And so that my pick right there, that's Southeast Missouri State.
You look at these first four games, and being as someone that I haven't played in one of those games, I can imagine that playing the day before or 2 days before and then having to play again, like that's going to be a wear and tear in your body. I think that's why it gives such an advantage to that one seed. Not that they need it. Not that the one seed needs even more of an advantage, but you're already going to come up against a team that's played a game recently. They're not as fresh as you. So I just think that's why it's so hard. And I know we've seen it one time in the history of March Madness that a 16 seed gets a 1 seed in Virginia losing to UMBC.
Yeah, I got that one.
Yeah, that's happened before, but I just don't see that. Who do you got in this game?
I mean, I got Southeast Missouri State, but then obviously I'm going Bama after that.
Yeah,
I think they get their actual ticket in. I don't consider the first four. I think the teams that are playing it wouldn't be considered it either. Like your ticket to the big dance is winning this game. You want to be actually in the field to start. So I think these are competitive games. But yeah, I don't think that Central Missouri State has any kind of shot against Bama.
I mean, I would love to see that be a close game, but with how Brandon Miller's playing and their well-coached team, been able to show that they can fight through some adversity throughout the year. So we'll
I won't make any Brandon Miller jokes either. You kind of just walked into one a little bit there. But all right, next game. Let's get away from that altogether.
We'll go down to the San Diego State versus Charleston game.
Whoa, you skipped Maryland, West Virginia.
Dude, I'm all over the map today. Holy
no, maybe I should
my
take
bad.
Over. I got okay.
Chris, you got to take it over. I'm your color commentator now.
Yeah, okay. Maryland, West Virginia. What is your opinions on the game? I mean, I got my pick. I'm obviously biased, but what's your opinion?
I'm gonna go with West V. I think West V is a really good team. They've given us everything we've asked for and wanted in our games. I think that Eric Stevenson is a hell of a player. He had a 5-6 game stretch where he scored 20 points at least.
He was cooking us too.
I actually get this fun, small world. Remember Sam Cunliffe, our ex-teammate? Him, Sam, myself, and Eric Stevenson would play Fortnite together like for a year and a half straight. So I got to know Eric a little bit.
That's why Eric became the player he is today. Mitch Lightfoot rubbed off some of his talents to him while they were playing Fortnite.
Dude, he's a great dude. He's been all over the place when it comes to playing college basketball. He was at Wichita State. He was at, I'm trying to think.
I thought it was just was he somewhere before Wichita State?
I believe so.
I thought it was just. I thought he went Wichita.
It'll actually be up right here. They'll put his progression of where he's gone.
Someone will find that for us right there.
But Eric Stevenson, my boy, we're looking for him to have a big game against Maryland to make it to the round of 32.
Yeah, he's a very good player. I agree with you, Mitch, there. I'm a West Virginia guy. I think Bob Huggins has him ready for sure.
I think they have the big guys as well. Bell is a big dude that can really hold
he's
his
a
own.
Monster.
I was at the Big 12 tournament in person, and he was even bigger in person. I saw him. Like that's a load, and I think that helps in March Madness having a big.
Well, then they have Bridges too. He's a lockdown defender. I really don't know.
Bridges really had a big game in their first game in the Big 12 tournament, and I think if it's all about playing well at the right time, and I think that if there's anyone that can get that team playing to their max potential, it's Coach Huggins.
And I thought, they obviously ran into a buzzsaw that was Kansas that day. I mean, we played out of our minds consistently.
We were playing motivated basketball. We were playing for Coach, and I think that's something that is underrated.
But at the end of the year, they were playing very good.
They were
on a run. So.
West Virginia started out slow, but they're rolling now.
I like it. I like that pick a lot.
See, we're talking ourselves into it.
I really think they're going to win the Natty now after really thinking about that, to be honest with you. Okay, so San Diego State versus Charleston. Charleston they're a really good mid-major team.
They're a really good mid-major team.
They've been
rolling. They've been rolling. Their coach is electric. I think that they've been playing great basketball, but I just don't know. 12 over 5s is hard for me to see.
And San Diego State's a very good defensive team and athletic.
Coach Brian Dutcher there, he does a great job. I was lucky enough to be recruited by those guys and got to know them pretty well. And I think that he runs a great system. So I'm going to have to take SCSU on this one. There's going to be, it has opportunity to be a really, really close game, but
I think there's no doubt this will be a very close game. And we both picked San Diego State, but Charleston, that's 12 seed you really, in my opinion, would not want to see.
Yeah. I think it can go either way, but I'm just gonna give my nod to San Diego State and pray for the best.
Yeah. All right. So this next game, I have an interesting pick on this, but Virginia versus Furman.
Wait, you took Furman?
Yeah, I did.
Furman.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
so
that's our first real big upset of the bracket.
I'm gonna have a good amount of them. I've convinced myself this year that I like the underdogs. I like these teams.
It's the year of the underdog.
It's the year of the underdog for me. That's my opinion on it. So Furman, they got 4 players in double digits, averaging double digits. So over 10 game. They have good guards. They shoot very well percentage wise from the field and from 3-point. I think they're maybe top 80 or top 75 in 2-point field goal percentage and top 50 in 3-point. And then they have the 12th best assist to turnover ratio in the country. But they're only not because they're bad at defense. But they're playing a Virginia team that loves to slow it down, play very slow, methodical basketball. So if they don't turn the ball over and they can score at the clip they've been scoring at, and just hope that Virginia slows it down enough, I really like. I talked you into it. I talked you into it.
I disagree. I have Virginia going to the Sweet 16. I think that they have a coach in Coach Bennett that allows them to play at a high level, and they've been rolling lately, and I just don't see it. I see Virginia rolling to the Sweet 16.
All right. Hey, we can agree to disagree on this channel, Mitch. That's what makes it so much. That's what makes it so special is that we can agree to disagree. And
Chris, no, you make it so special.
Thanks, Mitch. Chris. Thanks, Mitch. Thank you. All right. Okay, so now moving on to the next game. We got Creighton, North Carolina State.
Ding, 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 ding. Here is my Cinderella, if you will, story. I know it's kind of hard. Let's break off on a tangent here.
They're underdogs. Underdogs.
Can a 6 seed be a Cinderella?
I don't think they're a Cinderella because I think a Cinderella.
Or does that depend on how far they go?
I think double digits is a Cinderella. So like if double digits goes and gets to the Sweet 16 Elite 8, I think that's a Cinderella. 10 seed maybe.
People were calling North Carolina Cinderella though last year.
But that's North Carolina. They're going to say Cinderella. I think it's just an underdog.
I would agree with you. But for the sake of it, this is going to be my Cinderella of the tournament. I know I just kind of.
You gave it away. You gave away your whole bracket.
I just kind of pooped all over your just previous statements there, so my bad.
No, you're good.
But no, Creighton's my team in the South. We'll see how far I have them going, but you guys will learn here shortly.
I have Creighton as well. Honestly, I will say though, like I kind of had a hard time picking them over North Carolina State. Nemhard though is a very good guard from Creighton, very fast, he's going to tire out. He's don't North Carolina State. I don't know the guy's name, but their best players, they're one man.
Yeah.
So I think that was a good matchup. But I think that Nemhard and especially with Creighton have better.
I remember. I think back to last year, and if Creighton doesn't lose Cockburner in the round before,
don't say what you're about to say. It's gonna be a closer game.
No, I wasn't going to say they would beat us, right. But I think that would be a lot closer game. They were missing their 5-man that really makes that team
very very large man.
Yeah, he makes that team go. I think that they can play some good basketball, and they've got it from the power forward position.
Right now.
You're changing it? What's the change?
No, I'm not. I'm changing my next pick after that game.
Oh, okay.
But it's whatever.
Christian's changing his bracket on the fly, people.
Yeah, I can change
that
it on
confidence
the fly.
that he had before.
We're gonna get another picture.
Quickly draining. Quickly draining.
But okay, so we're on North Carolina State, Creighton. We obviously got Creighton in there.
Creighton.
Okay, so next game we got Baylor, UCSB.
UC Santa Barbara. Coached by Joe Pasternak.
And they play a very slow style offense. They like to slow the ball down. They don't make many mistakes. They like to play the half court offense and less to play half court defense. But they're pretty efficient with it. That's what my research told me about Santa Barbara.
Yeah, I think that is the case. You got guys there. You got some veteran guys around that program that allowed them to play at the highest level. But I don't think that they're gonna beat Baylor. I think Baylor's got too much experience playing in the best league in the country. I think Coach Drew. I've said this before. I think he's one of the hottest coaches in college basketball over the past 5 years.
They're guards. I mean, they are like reloading guards
every year. It's each and every year they have a top group of guards.
They're 1 and 2. Their 1 and 2s have been the best guards in the country.
Flagler, Cryer, like it's
my God.
It's so hard to contest with that. And I'm assuming that UCSB can't compete with that. So I'm going to take Baylor to win this game.
And US or Santa Barbara, like you're a slowing down team. You want to play in the half court offense, half court defense. What really takes that away when you have 3 guards that can go get 30?
Yeah,
any given night.
You have to stop. You have to stop 3 guys. You can't just slow down one dude.
No,
we talk about with Kansas, like for relating that to us, like if you go out and slow down Jalen, you have to slow down Grady too, and you have to slow down.
Well, I mean, that's us last year. Yeah. It's like, okay, so you slow down Ochai. Good job. Now you have CB dropping 20 on your head. Dave, another 15.
And then Jay Will got 12 and 9.
Yeah, no, 12 and 14 rebounds. Like just going, that's like, you pick your poison. And I don't think that there's a mid-major team really unless they're going to play fast.
You think back to Baylor's last year, their loss last year to North Carolina. I think they're gonna be hungrier than ever in March Madness.
I think they feel a little bit disrespected too, being slotted in at that 3 seed. I mean, I think they think in their minds they're one of the best teams in the country. They beat Texas once, they beat us once, so I think they're gonna ride with a chip on their shoulder. Obviously, didn't do what they needed to do in the Big 12 tournament, but I think that they're gonna have a chip on their shoulder coming into this week.
Okay, I think we're both locked in with Baylor there.
Like Baylor a lot there.
We're gonna move on to the next one. We've got Missouri versus Utah State. It almost pains me to say the word Missouri. We played them earlier this year. Blew the brakes off. But after that, Coach Dennis Gates really turned them around, got that team rolling in the right direction.
Why are we even going in this much in depth to this one? We'll give Mizzou the win and we'll get out of here. All right, let's go to the next game.
Actually, great call. Yeah, Less talking about Mizzou's better for me.
I couldn't even look up at the camera. All right, next one. Okay,
Arizona, Princeton. Chris, who do you have? U of A, led by Coach Tommy Lloyd. They've got some great front court there, great back court there. That's why they're a 2 seed.
I really like Arizona. I think they're super duper athletic. I think that they can score in bunches. I mean, obviously they can give up and they get cold every once in a while, but I think they can score in bunches. I think this is a 2 seed that I would have been terrified to have in Kansas's brackets out of the bracket. So I got Arizona on this one. Not even really a question there. I think I have them going decently far.
Congratulations, Princeton. You made it to the NCAA tournament. Please.
Exit stage left.
All right. We're going to continue to head through the South. We're going to go back up to the top for the round of 32.
Oh, we're going back up.
Yeah, we're going to go back up. We
have different picks though.
We do have different picks. We're going to push it to the Final Four. We're going to go all the way to the Final Four.
Yeah, let's go to the Final Four, and then we can come back later.
We'll come back
and do maybe next week we do the Sweet 16 Elite Eight or whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, there we go.
For sure.
Let's for 2 more pods.
Indeed. Let's go. All right. Second round in the South, Alabama versus West Virginia. Who do you got going there?
Bama.
Well, just this one will be a lot more quicker.
Bama. I mean, but here's the thing. I got Bama on the Final Four. Who do you got in the Final Four? Tell me break it down for me a little bit, but I got Bama. I think they Arizona, Bama, Elite Eight. I think Bama just gets the win. I think they're one of the best teams in the country, if not the best.
My Final Four, this will be my hot take. I've got Creighton in the Final Four. I've got them beating Baylor and Arizona and Alabama to make it to the Final Four. I think that they have the guards and the big guys. and the power forwards
and some experience. I think they have a decent amount of experience.
Yeah, and I think that'll allow them to make a deep run. I think a 6 seed for them.
They play below their capability
below
for
their
a
capabilities
good amount of the year.
But it's all about playing good now.
They're a dangerous team.
And I'm going to take them as my dark horse all the way to the Final Four. We'll explain who we have in our national championship game in another pod.
And we'll come back and fix all of our mistakes later too, and we'll have a perfect bracket when this is all said and done. But
next, we're going to head on down to the East. We're going to go.
We got
Purdue,
playing game first.
Playing game. Texas Southern.
Farley Dickinson.
Is that right?
Isn't that the name of the school?
Farley Dickinson?
Something like that.
Actually, let's redo this. Cut that part out. Everyone.
Hey, we'll come back. I'm searching it.
Don't cut that part out.
Farley Dickinson University out of Teaneck, New Jersey. And
Chris,
I have them winning.
Chris, give us their record on the year and
you maybe look this back up.
And show us.
Okay, I have Farley Dickinson winning. And then I have them running into the buzzsaw that is Purdue, and actually just Jaden Ivey, or not Jaden Ivey.
Jaden Ivey, Chris.
Jaden Ivey came back, actually. Why can't I remember their big guy's name right
Zach Edey.
Zach Edey.
That monster.
That man may go 14 from the field with 20 rebounds and the game be over in the first half.
Yeah, no, he's a monster. I think that they have young guards, but at the same point in time, I think they have good leadership. Well, they're gonna be hard to beat, and I think that
I don't think they're great though. I just don't think that a 16 seed can match up against that.
Yeah, like we said,
they're good though.
A 16 seed is going to be coming into that game. I wouldn't say starstruck. Starstruck's the wrong word, but playing against a 7'4" guy who knows
and capable guards
and very capable guards is just a little too much for Farley Dickinson. I'm going to take Purdue there.
Yep, I like that one as well, Mitch. Good pick. Okay, so this is actually a very interesting game. So the Memphis versus FAU. The TV's been talking about it. Memphis is one of the hottest teams in America. Obviously, they've been running into Houston as a buzzsaw, but besides that, they've been taking care of Conference USA. And they beat them actually today in the Conference USA Championship. Their Houston's best guard, Sazzer, was obviously out, but that's one of the best teams in UAU or FAU. FAU, they're hot too. I mean, they won first in their conference. They won the conference tournament. They're on a killing streak. I think they have 31 wins or something like that.
Yeah.
They're unreal. So that's a very interesting game. That may be one of the best first round games to watch basketball wise. But I have Memphis winning that.
Yeah, I think Penny Hardaway. He's got that team rolling in the right direction. Kendrick Davis obviously is
a dog.
Is a dog. Speaking of people I've played Fortnite with, we're gonna chalk this up to people I've played Fortnite.
Yeah,
not
count of Mitch's Fortnite. Fortnite bringing party members. Or
DeAndre, their big guy. What's his last name? DeAndre Williams.
All right.
He was also him and
Eric Stevenson were in the same chat.
And
okay, so
he played at Evansville before he transferred to Memphis. So that's how I know him, through my good buddy Sam. So
Sam Cunliffe, former Kansas great.
Former Kansas great.
Shout out Sam Cunliffe.
Now I think that Memphis is going to handle that.
I don't know if they handle that. I think they do win. That's honestly a game that I'm kind of looking forward to seeing. This is going to be some high level basketball.
I think the best teams in March are the teams that have veterans with DeAndre and Kendrick Williams. So I do think those two are going to.
Kendrick Davis, but Kendrick Davis has been playing. I mean, he played at TCU for 2 seasons.
I was thinking Kendrick Williams.
Did he go to Houston for a year?
Yeah. Oh no, I think he was always at
No, he was at TCU. He didn't go straight to Tech. He didn't go straight to Memphis.
I think SMU.
He went to SMU. He killed it at SMU under Coach
Jankovic.
Coach Tim Jankovic.
He's the father of another guest you had on this pod,
Mike Jankovic.
Mike Jankovic. Also, shout out Mike Jankovic. Got some big minutes in the Big 12 tournament. So we appreciate everything he does for the Hawks.
Yes, sir. He's come back for a 5th year too. Victory lap, baby. All right, okay, going on. Okay, actually, I'll say a good thing about this is I have Memphis beating Purdue in the next round. I really think that they're going to.
I disagree.
I think they're going to out-athlete them easily.
I
think that Kendrick Davis is going to absolutely destroy. He's going to have a little lawyer on shift team the whole game.
I think Zach Edey is a problem, and I think he's shown that. I think he's going to be.
Penny Hardaway is going to get in his head before the game even starts.
Absolutely not a chance. I think that's going to be between Zach Edey and Jalen Wilson. I know that's not a very hot take, but I think that it'll probably end up going to.
But it has nothing to do with the Memphis Purdue game. Yeah. I think that Memphis comes out with the victory. I think they.
No way. I do. Okay. I think the fact that Purdue has a Player of the Year caliber player that is a unicorn in college basketball gives them the advantage. I think Zach Edey has a 20-15 game that allows them to march on to the Sweet 16.
All right, next game we got Duke versus Oral Roberts.
Puke,
yes. Hate Duke. This has nothing to do with my opinion on this one, but I have Oral Roberts winning. Obviously they were Cinderella, 2 years ago when the COVID bubble, they have Max Abras.
Yeah, I think we're forgive us. I think we're messing that last name up.
We're messing it up, but I mean, the dude's a dog. He's averaging 22 again this year. Like
they have Connor Vancouver, a big fella, 7'3", 7'4", averages 3 blocks a game. So I think that they have all the makings of an upset, and I'm going to take Duke.
Hey, and they're top 10 in rebounding. I think they're number 8 in defensive rebounding. So I think they just wax Duke on the boards, and I think that Max Abram goes for 50, and Connor Vancouver tells Philip Kowski or whatever his name is to go back to New York or wherever else he's from.
I disagree. I'm going to take Duke there. I think that Coach Schreier has them rolling in the right direction. He's one of three ACC coaches in their first year to win the league. I think he's done a great job. People in the beginning of the year were down on Coach Schreier, but I think he's turned it around and looking to make a run in March. And I think they're going to make a run all the way till the next round. So
okay, all right, okay. So next one, we got Tennessee, Louisiana. Tennessee's hit a skid. Ziegler, their starting point guard, comes out, tears the ACL. And I thought Tennessee was one of the best teams in the country before that. So
unfortunate. Obviously, hate to see injuries. Such a talented player. It gives them a different look. I know we are going to have differing opinions on this one as well, but I think Tennessee is going to be playing inspired basketball. Play for him. It's always the people that are a wounded dog that's the most deadly, and I think that's Tennessee.
So hey, obviously again, I have a different opinion than Mitch. I'm picking 2 back-to-back upsets. I like Louisiana. Louisiana's top 50 shooting team. I think they're up in the top 30s in 3-point percentage and 2-point percentage. They're in the 40s, so they're top 50 in both of those. Those are good stats to have. Not a great free throw shooting team, but then they have this big man, Jordan Brown. He's a 5-man, 6'11", transfer from Arizona. He's averaging 15.5 a game and just around 9 rebounds. Tennessee's obviously a big man dominated team, but I think he gives them problems, and they're a pretty consistent team if they get hot. And I feel like Tennessee has a hard time playing from down, so I think that if they get out early, it could be a team. It could be a game that gets away from them.
Those are great points. Agree to disagree. I'm seeing Tennessee move on there, but we will see. Next game, Kentucky versus Providence. I think this is a good game as well. Coach Cooley does a great job at Providence, but at the same point in time, I think Kentucky has a little too much firepower, a little too much size for Providence. I think Oscar's gonna show everybody that this is the year that he thought that everyone thought that he was going to have. Yeah. He's the defending National Player of the Year. Guy's a monster. They're starting to get healthy at the right time. Had a chance to sit down with a couple of their guys, and I know their confidence trending in the right direction. And confidence is everything when it comes to March. And it's not like Kentucky hasn't been there before. So Coach Cal is gonna have those guys locked in and headed in the right direction. I take Kentucky over Providence, headed to the round of 32.
And I mean, honestly, I like Providence as a team. And I think they could have been a team that makes a run in March Madness. But I think they run into Kentucky at a bad time. And they run into Kentucky with a guy, Oscar, who, I mean, they lost last year in embarrassing fashion to St. Peter's. And that dude cares a whole lot. And he's somebody that he's like a Zach Edey kind of guy. Like there's just obviously not in the aspect of that.
Those players don't happen all the time.
No, those players don't happen. And
I think
physically, he's just a head above other people.
Everyone will say like, oh well, he's not the 7'4" that Zach Edey is, but I think Oscar's motor is what sets him apart. He plays harder.
Strength.
He's the hardest playing big guy that I've played against in my time in college, and I played against some pretty good ones. Angel Delgado at
another strong
at Seton
dude.
Hall was another strong dude that played with that motor. But I think Oscar, he's got that motor that it takes to succeed in March, and it'll give them an edge.
Yep. So I like that pick with you. I'm right there with you.
Another
Mitch.
painful game for you to talk about, Chris. Kansas State, Montana State.
We'll get over it. Hey, Kansas State. I like their chances in this first game.
I got Kansas State moving on to the second round. They've got Marquise Noel at the point guard. He plays great ball, very confident guy, as well as Keontae Johnson and Coach Tang. I like them. I think that they're going to be playing some good basketball. They've played, like I said, for Baylor in the hardest conference in the nation. And
yep, they have some good wins to show. I mean, they have really good wins. They beat Baylor twice, or they beat Texas twice?
Yeah, they beat us, beat Baylor, beat Texas. Like they've got good wins. So I think that they'll push on and go face Kentucky in the round of 32.
And I think they're a team. Hey, when they play their best ball, they're hard. They're a very hard team to beat.
Mm-hmm.
They score at a very great.
Them
clip.
losing to TCU also, I think, can be spun into a positive. It gives them time to rest in between games and get everyone on the team healthy. I know Desi Sills was fighting some injuries, so we'll see them.
Time to put in a little bit more. I mean, they're running pretty much a base offense still.
Yeah, well, I think it's a good time for them to get healthy, and Coach Tang will do a good job of I wouldn't say load management, but at this point in the year, you have to make sure your guys are healthy.
Load management, just adding little kinks to the offense and stuff, and that's something that he hasn't really had to deal with yet. And I think this will be a good time for them, having a little extra.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard during the conference season to put in a lot of tweaks into your offense, and the people that can do that are the greats. And so I think we'll start to see in this week and a half that we have, or this week that we have, people are going to put in a couple tweaks before you see them in March Madness.
For sure. All right, so moving on to the next one, Michigan State, USC. I don't really know much about this game. I know Michigan State's been disappointing this year, and USC's kind of been the same way. I have USC in it. I think USC, they're in a Pac-12, and based off the way they usually play, their athletic team that's just going to kind of go out there and try to out-athlete you. And I think Michigan State's a team that can be out-athleted.
From our experience with USC in March Madness, they're really good.
They're really good. When they're in March, they're really scary.
They're going to beat you by 30, and it's going to ruin your year.
It's not going to be fun, and they're going to force you to come back for an extra year eligibility, and you're going to win a natty after. So maybe not a bad thing for Michigan State.
Yeah, that could be it. But at the same point in time, I think USC is going to be the team that gets that done. Coach Andy Enfield is there. He's done a great job with them. Obviously, he's had some success in March in past years. I think they'll get this game done and move on to face Marquette after Marquette beats Vermont. Marquette has won everything in the Big East. Yep. I think that they've got it all. They've got it all going on. Shaka Smart's really got that team rolling.
And they're playing inspired basketball, and they're locking up defensively.
They won the regular season. They won the conference tournament. Like I think that's something that you see.
They flew under the radar, didn't they? They were they were picked to finish 7th in the Big East.
I think you look at them at a 2 spot. I think a 2 spot's right for them, but I think they're going to be someone that can really make a run deep. And they're
all right. So hey,
they're good.
We got that first round of the bracket come out. We won't bore you guys with the rest of them. We have different brackets, so I'm make it confusing for you. Who do you got coming out of that East region?
I'm going to take Marquette, and they're going to win over Purdue in the Elite Eight. I think Marquette they've showed it in the regular season. They showed it in the conference tournament. They showed it. They have the best player in Tyler. I'm going to chop up his last name. Kolek. Is it Kolek? Is that right, how you say it?
Honestly, no idea.
I apologize if I chop that up incorrectly, but I think Marquette is playing some of their best basketball. And some of the best basketball in the nation. It's been over a period of time. It's an entire body of work. It's not just getting hot late. I have them going to the Final Four and making it out of the East.
I agree with you on that one. I have Marquette coming out too. I will say though, I do like this. I like this this side of the bracket a lot. I think that I wouldn't be surprised if I saw Kentucky come out of there, honestly, and Memphis could maybe make a run real quick. I mean, I think Memphis has all the pieces and they're playing really hot right now. They have a bunch of guys who can score at tremendous clips. So that is
100%. There's 100% true. I think the East. I look at all the other. At all the other regions, and I think the East is going to be the one that if we do see somebody that is a dark horse, it'll come out of there. I'm gonna go with Marquette for my Final Four.
All right, hey, now let's go to the Midwest. I mean, obviously we have Houston as the 1 seed.
This sucks.
It pissed me off today, and they said their reasoning for it was that they weren't going to hurt them for having someone injured or something.
Yeah, Sasser.
So they wouldn't let us jump them, but
then they also came out and said that they penalized us for having our coach not there, which is utter bogus. I think that they also penalized us for not having Kevin McCullough. So I think that's a load of trash, and I think we look at that and. At the same point in time, that can be put both ways. I think the team can use that as motivation and be pissed off that hey, they're doubting us, and if you can get the guys playing inspired basketball by thinking that, listen, even the committee doubts us. Let's go play our best ball right now. I think that can be a factor as well.
I don't mind. I mean, I really don't care. Obviously, our seeding is our seeding. I like the way our bracket lays out Kansas-wise, but obviously you want to – hey, I live in Kansas City. Would it be nice to be able to drive 30 minutes to go watch them play in the Elite Eight game? Yes, that would be very nice.
But would you hate to go to Vegas?
No.
I would not hate that either.
I would not either.
If Mercury, if you guys want to send Chris and I to Vegas to put our takes out there,
20 likes on this on YouTube. Send us to Vegas.
20 likes. Sends Mitch and Chris to Vegas. Yeah.
They agreed to that before the show too. So when they
actually,
drop this,
hey guys,
send us a run it up. All right. Let's jump in. Let's jump into this Midwest division.
First off, it's Northern Kentucky versus Houston. I think Houston, granted all that stuff we just said about them, I still think they're going to get that done. So.
I think they can win that first game for sure.
I would like to say that one is
a lock.
It is a lock.
Yes.
A locky Lou.
A locky Lou. All right, so let's move on to the next game. Iowa Auburn. That's one of those games. I mean, there's a couple games you look at the 8 and 9 where you're like, if you would have told me that was the 8 versus 9 game at the beginning of the year, I would have told you what happened. Then you have Illinois and Arkansas up there down in our bracket. It's like, what happened to those teams? I think that's a really good matchup. I think they'll be very high quality basketball. But I have Iowa coming out. I think their team
Iowa shoots the hell out of the ball, and obviously Murray's there as well. I think he does a great job of giving that team an inside presence. I'm going to take Iowa.
I do like Auburn too. I mean, they still have those two, there's little grimy guards that run around to go play full court defense. And when they get hot and they bring that energy, they're still a good team.
Yeah, I do think they're a really good team. I think their guards give them an ability to win each and every game they play in. But this is one of those games where I think you can take either one and argue it. And argue that
you could argue
that makes sense.
So. Yeah, I do agree. I like Iowa. I like Iowa coming out of there for sure. All right,
moving on down, we're gonna go to the 5-12 game and Miami Drake. I know this is a very hotly talked about game. I know Miami's fighting some injury bug right now. If they can take this week and get healthy,
I mean, honestly, just get somewhat healthy. Be able to get to this first weekend, and I think that they're a dangerous team.
I know Drake's a really good team as well. They made it out of their league, and I think that Miami's going to end up winning it. Coach Larinaga, he had a really good team this year. Did in years past, so they've got experience of going deep into March. I think that they have the ability to do it again this year.
I like the way they played too. That'd be a fun team to watch in March because it would just be just them tossing threes.
Yeah, it will certainly be beneficial for the NCAA to keep Miami in it.
Yeah, for sure. So give them all the calls and make them make it to the Final Four.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So next one we got Indiana, Kent State. I don't know a ton about Kent State. I like Indiana. I think they're too physically imposing for Kent State to keep up with them. I think the Indiana's playing really well at the right time.
Yeah, Trace Jackson Davis, obviously, he was in the running for Player of the Year at the beginning of the year. So I see him having a big March.
Senior year, correct too?
I believe so. Senior year,
and it means a lot to him. You can tell just by the way he plays the game. So
yeah, that'll be a good game. But Indiana will pull out of that one and head to the round of 32. Down to the next one, Iowa State on the 6th line with Mississippi State
versus Pitt.
Who do you have coming out of the Mississippi State versus Pitt game?
I have Mississippi State coming out. I've watched them a couple times this year. I like the way they play. Pittsburgh was ranked 67th in the net, and honestly, their win over North Carolina this year, I think that, or in this last ACC tournament, I think their win. That game was pretty much, hey, who makes it? Whoever wins this game makes it into the tournament. So I don't really love Pitt there. I think Mississippi State gets into that game against Iowa State, and I think they honestly make a pretty good shot at Iowa State.
Yeah, no, that's one of those games where I'm gonna have one of the first four in making a run in the Midwest bracket. I've got Mississippi State running on past Iowa State and headed down to play Texas, and I headed past Iowa State to play Xavier and past them to play Texas in the Sweet 16.
I have Mississippi State winning against Iowa State as well. Honestly, don't really know my reasoning there, but for some reason, I just don't like Iowa State there. I don't know why. Understandably.
Gonna move down to the next one. Xavier versus Kennesaw State. Xavier led by Sean Miller. Who's got history in March Madness, has coached great teams down at Arizona. Kind of got his second run at it at Xavier. He coached there before he came to Arizona. He didn't start his career, but he kind of got his.
I thought their seed was a little high.
You think 3's high for?
I think 3's high. I think 3's really high.
They lost to Villanova this year, which Villanova is a great team.
Is Villanova even in the tournament, dude?
No, Villanova didn't make it.
Exactly. So why is that a good win?
I think Villanova. The reason that I think that's a good win, just because I was watching it, is Villanova just got Justin Moore back, who's one of the best players in the nation when he's healthy. So we'll see. And Cam Whitmore got back for that game as well, who's one of the top freshmen in the nation.
Those
so
are your boys now, damn.
Yeah, right. So I've got Xavier headed past Kansas.
I have them heading past too. I just was kind of shocked to see them as a 3 seed when the brackets came out.
Yeah, they could have been more on the.
I think a 5. I think a 5 or a 6. 5 I would have been like, it's kind of high. 6, I would have been like, yeah, okay, cool. But a 3 seed to me was just kind of like, damn. All right.
Yeah. So we'll take Xavier there. Down to the next one. This is where I've got an upset. Texas A&M on the 7 line, Penn State on the 10. I've got Penn State. Penn State was shooting the hell out of the ball. I think if teams that can shoot the ball well in March will have the ability to win some games, and that's what they're going to do there.
I'll start this off by saying I think that Texas A&M bad seeding. I think they got seeded bad. I don't think they're 7. I don't think they're a 7 seed. I think they are up higher to a 4 or 3 than Xavier is for sure.
Okay.
But saying that, I as well have Penn State moving on. I think, Penn State's very hot. Texas A&M has struggles to score every once in a while. I mean, obviously they played Bama, who is a very good long team. But I think that Texas A&M has a hard time scoring sometimes. So I think that I like Penn State in this game.
Yeah, I'm going to take Penn State there. They're going to move on to play the winner of Texas and Colgate. Chris, who do you have, Texas or Colgate?
I have Colgate. Here's what I'll say about this. They have 5 players averaging double-doubles or double figures. They're top 50 in efficiency on points per game, or top 50 in efficiency and in points per game. And they're also top 5 in 3-point and field goal percentage.
This is a big upset, Chris. This is a big upset.
You have to have one big upset. I've picked a lot of upsets. I hate Texas. Texas deserves to suffer for what they did to us the last 2 weeks. And I think that Colgate is going to bring that pain onto them. They have a couple guys that come off the bench and attempt like 5 threes a game. They get hot.
I'm going to take the counter view to this. I'm going to take they played great basketball the last 2 weeks. I dislike them just as much as you. I dislike them just as much as you. But I think they're going to play good basketball. I think Rodney Terry's got them headed in the right direction. I think he did a great job with that program. They obviously had some distractions early on in the year, but they've honed in on winning. And I'm going to take Texas all the way to the Elite Eight to face Miami and ultimately lose to Miami. That's a sneak peek. My Final Four has Miami in it.
I have Miami as well. Honestly, me and Mitch have agreed on we've agreed on three teams. Oh no, you haven't. You have Creighton in the.
I've got Creighton out of my South division.
So now we're looking. I have Bama, Marquette, and Miami in the final 3 of the Final Four. Mitch has Creighton, Marquette, and Miami. So we're looking pretty similar, pretty alike. Miami would definitely do us some dirty in this, but I think they have a good shot. I liked them. I like watching them play. I liked the way they played against us last year. I think that they can make a run. So
yeah, no, they've got experience. So those are our 3 Final Four teams so far. Headed down to the West bracket, the bracket where Kansas ended up landing. I know we talked about how Kansas fans weren't exactly happy about that. I posted a tweet asking for their opinions about it, and they will be listed here. And let me sum up everything that they said. It was poop.
It was
bad. But guess what? You got to beat good teams in March, and it's funny how things work out. Last year when we had our seeding, everyone thought, "Oh, Auburn's in it. Oh, Iowa's in it." And guess what? We didn't even get to play them because they lost.
Yeah, they knocked themselves out, and I think that's the tale of March. I mean, hey, to get to the Final Four, you're gonna have to play good teams, even if they aren't the second-ranked team in your conference. Playing an Elite Eight basketball game, you get there for a reason.
Yeah, like it's
everybody in this, and especially this year. I think that's the transfer portal has spread out the whole talent of everybody, and also the NIL has kept people staying. I think this is the most evenly matched.
So
I mean, just look around, look at the teams, dude. There's so many in here where I'm like, damn, that's a 9 seed, that's a 10 seed. These are hard games, almost. I mean, every round.
Yeah,
unless you're a 1 seed.
Yeah. So we'll get into this one. I know. It's kind of hard for us to say anything different against Kansas. So
let's talk a little bit about what you see, what KU's path would be to the Final Four. If you like it, if you don't. I mean, just kind of give an overview of the teams. Obviously.
I think Kansas, quite honestly, we struggle with length and athleticism sometimes. I think Arkansas has both of those. I think that'll be
that's a hard game. Yeah,
if we can win that game, that'll do us great. That's one of those ones where. If we can,
another hard team in there that have the same.
Yeah, they got big guys as well. They've got some great big guys. I think if we can, they've got Sonogo and I forget how to say his. Donovan.
I've watched
Donovan.
him.
I'm sorry, but
you're a very good basketball player.
You're a very good basketball player. He's a big guy. He's a freshman. Plays some really good ball. I think that if we can get past Arkansas and into UConn, I think our guards can outquick that.
UCLA, that is a hard 2 seed. There's no doubt about that.
That's a hard 2 seed, but at the same point in time, I think UCLA won't make it to.
I think they have a hard road too. Northwestern's playing great.
Mm-hmm.
They got a 7 seed. That's another 7 seed. We were kind of like, dang. They really got hot at the end of the year. They had a couple big wins. They were ranked at one point, weren't they? They're playing their best ball of late and really shutting down teams that were great. So I think you got them. You got Gonzaga. You got TCU. I mean, they're gonna have a beast to get to the Elite Eight to maybe play.
So we don't skip over it, and so people know our picks. I'm gonna go KU over Howard. Then
Howard,
I'm gonna have
fun fact. That's the first time they've been to the NCAA tournament since 1992.
Inspired basketball, but I don't think that much inspired basketball will get you to beat Kansas. Knock on wood.
Knock on wood. I do think that's a fun tidbit to add in there. That's a big deal for them.
That's important.
It's gonna be a closer game than you think, and But that's
let's head on down to Arkansas, Illinois. I've got Arkansas going.
I have Illinois.
I've got Arkansas going on.
I don't like that pick because I think that Arkansas is the worst matchup for the Kansas Jayhawks.
Tell me why.
Tell you why. I mean, I think they're
Tell me why you think Illinois will beat Arkansas.
I don't know why. I think that Illinois has a lot of talent, just like Arkansas does, and there are 2 prime examples of teams that just didn't put it together. I think that Illinois wins. I think that Matthew Meyer finally has the year that people thought he was going to have. He's going to start. He's going to go off.
Drinks before the game.
Yeah, he's going to drink 10 monsters for the game instead of 6 this time. He's going to hit 7 threes. I think Terrence Shannon, another good guy. I think they have the talent to do. I think they can. I don't like Arkansas. They're super long and lanky. They're super athletic, explosive. It's a team I don't want to see, and hopefully my bracket plays a part in them losing.
You see, I'm going to think of this logically. I think Arkansas will win because they are athletic. They're long.
You say you're going to think about it logically?
I'm going to think about it logically.
Was I not thinking logically?
I think you are very logical, and I think that I am 100% right.
Okay.
But I'm going to take Arkansas to the second game and then end up losing to KU because KU is going to go back-to-back. But moving on down to St. Mary's VCU, what do you have here, Chris, and why?
This is also kind of another, this is probably not a great pick to pick at all, but VCU, you know why? VCU in March. They're terrifying. They've emotionally scarred me in the past. They will
personally traumatized Chris Tehan and the rest of Kansas basketball nation.
So I like them. That's my pick. That's my reasoning. That's my pick.
He's taking VCU. I'm going to take St. Mary's just because it's particularly the fact that I don't like VCU for what they've done to us. So my energy is going to be going towards St. Mary's and hopefully that they can win that game. Going on down, UConn, Iona. We kind of already gave this away a little bit, but I'm taking UConn to get past Iona. Chris, probably disagree with me, but tell me what you think.
I disagree. I actually have Iona as kind of my Cinderella. They get to I have them going to the Sweet 16.
Is that because of Rick Pitino, or what is your reasoning there, and what's they shoot the ball very well and they defend very well. High efficiency in both. They have 3 guys averaging over 15 points a game. Shoot, that's hard to, yeah.
And they have a small forward that is averaging 16, or he's averaging 17 points a game, really. Okay. He shoots it well from outside. He's a lanky athlete. I think he's a guy that gives people problems in March. And then, you have Slick Rick. Slick Rick, he's experienced. I mean, he's been to an NCAA tournament a time or two. I mean, he's been a national champion. I mean, that is if you're looking at a low seed to go play first round, and you can look at coaches that you don't want to face, I think Rick Pitino would be up at the very top of your list. Yeah. I mean, you have Rick Pitino, you have Coach Self, you have Tom Izzo. Teams you don't want to see coach in a mid-major against you in March Madness. And I think that plays a big role now. I have Iona winning that game.
Yeah, no, I disagree, but I think you're right. I just think UConn's too big for them. I think UConn's got some big guys that'll give them issues. But we will see. Moving on down.
Mitch is too conservative. I'm more the liberal of the group, and I am going to.
I completely agree. We're gonna go on down to the next game. We got to talk about our next 4 in. We have ASU versus Nevada. Who do you got there?
I got ASU. Don't really know much about this one. I have them losing in the next round anyway, so I don't really take much thought into it. I think they have a tough. Whoever wins this game has a touch matchup with TCU, very athletic, very physical, and they have one of the best guards in the country in Mike Miles. So
yeah, I think having the guard that TCU has makes them really dangerous.
I mean, if you think about it, last year they should have been in the Elite Eight or the Final Four.
Yeah, they should have beat Arizona.
They should have. I mean, they got absolutely screwed on the call.
But yeah, ASU, I've got them facing TCU and losing to them. Going on down to the next game, we've got the three seed Gonzaga, led by Mark Few, facing off against Grand Canyon. Tell me what you know. Tell me what you think. So and I'll fire back.
I don't have anything on Grand Canyon, but if
Noah Baum, Gabe McLaughlin, those are 2 guys, Phoenix guys. Shout out to them. Noah went off in their tournament championship, but I don't think that they'll get past Gonzaga.
I don't think they will either, but I do think that you see a mid-major team in a not great conference as a 14 seed. That's something you do look out for.
And also,
they're impressive enough to not be like
Gonzaga,
you don't place a 1 seed against them.
You look at Gonzaga, and they haven't played against the best of the best in a while because they're in that conference. So I think you have a good point.
Gonzaga takes it still, but yeah,
I think that's a game where Grand Canyon will make it a lot closer than people will think. I'm going to take Gonzaga, but that'll be a closer game than people think.
Yeah, I do. I agree with that. And I will say, when you make your brackets, if you want to think of games, that one there's a good one to maybe think and throw it to a coin flip. Mm-hmm. But all right, next game, Northwestern, Boise State. Mitch, what you got?
I've got Boise State coming out of this one. I know. I don't know a whole hell of a lot about this matchup. I believe Marcus Shaver is still on Boise State. Not 100% sure.
Didn't he leave last year? You're talking about the guy that did he go to the draft or did he come back?
I think he came back. Hold on, everyone. Give me 1 second. Let me make sure on this.
Timeout.
Let's everyone.
Okay, you don't have to stop filming. All right, sorry. Boise State against Northwestern. Mitch, what's your opinion on this? What's your pick on this?
I've got Boise State headed out of this one strictly because I know their point guard, Marcus Shaver. He played in Arizona in high school, so I think he's a great player that can lead them past Northwestern. Although Northwestern is playing some great basketball, that's going to be one of my upsets I take. They're going to head on to the second round to face UCLA.
So I like Northwestern in this game. I think for the reasons you said, they're playing really good basketball in the time that matters the most. They've had a couple of great wins here in the last couple of weeks. I think that gives them confidence. I think they come in playing light on their feet, that they deserve to be here and deserve to win this game. I think that that plays into them getting the victory here.
Yep. What's your thoughts about the UCLA UNC Asheville?
So I think UCLA is too physical on defense, and they're the top 10 defensive team in the country.
Jaime Jaquez is a bucket.
Oh, dude! Confirmed. I mean, they can score. They have good. They have a point guard.
Big 12 player of the year. Like I think he does so much for that team that's going to be hard for a mid-major to contend with that. And I think he can have – there's potential for him to have a really big game here.
Yeah, and I like them. I like them going to the Elite Eight. I think Kansas beats them in the Elite Eight. I have Gonzaga losing early to TCU, and I think TCU versus UCLA is going to be a good matchup, physical.
That's going to be a slugfest. That's going to be a slugfest.
It may just be a fight.
Yeah.
But I want to see that game really badly.
I think TCU-UCLA would be a awesome Sweet 16 game. And I think that we should.
Refs make that happen.
Refs, pray to God, make that happen.
Make that happen. All right. So we obviously both have Kansas coming out of the West Division. So hey, our Final Four teams, mine are locked in: Bama, Marquette, KU, Miami.
I've got one difference from that. I've got Creighton, Marquette, KU, and Miami. Let's go into a little bit on what it's going to take KU to make a deep run into March. Being from a guy or two guys that have played in two Final Fours, like what do you think it's going to take for KU to make it to a Final Four and then hopefully go back to back?
I think we've had a hard couple of games with adjustments. I think that we get down early to Texas, and they're a really athletic team that can score, and they can get buckets from a lot of different areas if they need to go to their 5-man. I mean, you saw it.
Dylan Daisu, he did work, and then so did Christian Bishop.
He destroyed us in the short roll.
Yeah.
He destroyed us in the short roll. So I think that's something we need to fix. We need to start making more defensive adjustments earlier in games.
And I think it'll be easier to make those adjustments once Coach Self is back at the helm. Obviously, Coach Rob's done a great job. I mean, 6-1 as a replacement head coach. Like I think that
he got thrown into the fire the last two. Yeah, he played two of our best games of the year with him at the beginning of this tournament.
He's done a great job. At the same point in time, having Coach Self at the helm will be good for us whenever we're facing adversity. I think being down 8, being down 7. With 10 minutes to go in the first half.
Call a timeout. You get a good bucket out at halftime.
It's good to have I wouldn't say Coach Self's voice is going to be calming if we're down 7 or 8.
No.
But I think it's going to be something necessary for us to turn it around.
Yeah, and the confidence in his voice is something that does a lot. And he gets you baskets. I mean, hey, you're down 8 with 7 minutes and 10 seconds to go. He calls a quick 30-second timeout, draws you a side out of bounds play. You score. That's an easy 2 points. That you really didn't have to work for it. I think that's something that people forget about Coach Self. I mean, he's good for 12 free points a game.
Yeah, and looking forward,
12 points is a lot.
Looking forward to KU's journey to the national championship. I think the game that worries me. The 2 games that worry me the most, we talked about it a little bit, are Arkansas and UConn. I think if we can get past those 2 games, then we can give ourselves a legitimate chance at a national championship again. But talking about what it takes versus Arkansas, you have to be able to match their energy. You have to be able to match their athleticism. I think if we get...
You can't match their athleticism, so you have to match it with energy.
Yeah, I think if we get McCullough back, and that'll allow us to defend and lock in even more. But if we move on to playing against UConn, they have 2 big guys that are going to be a lot. And I think we're going to need one of our big guys to help KJ and step up off the bench, whether that be Ernest, Zach, Zuby. One of those guys is going to have to step up and help KJ in that game.
Yeah, I like the way our bench is playing, to be honest with you. Ernest had a rough outing against Texas a little bit, but, they're going right at you with a very good big guy who's been playing his best basketball during this time of year. But I like the way our bench is playing right now. To be honest, we're talking about things we need to fix. I think we are headed in well. I think we're heading in the right direction. Obviously, Joe didn't play great against Texas, didn't shoot it well, but, that's not in the position he's going to be asked to play in fully in March, hopefully.
With Kevin back.
With Kevin back, so... I like our chances. I think there's definitely things we need to change. We need to be able to I think we force shots a lot when we're down. And I think that everybody on the team is guilty of it. When there's times we need a basket early, we'll settle for a shot within the first 12 seconds of the shot clock. And those are things that Coach Self preaches forever. And we are a young team if you really look at it. We lost 75% of our scoring from last year. We have, McCullough, Jay Will, Juan, Joe played sparingly last year. KJ played sparingly last year. Grady was in high school. I think those are things that we're maturing in the right way. And I think that the way we lost these games and we're not able to get back into these games kind of has a wake-up call, and there'll be a teaching point for Coach Self here in the next couple of weeks. For
us to win a national championship, somebody has to take another step forward. I think that can be Grady getting 25, getting...
Oh, there will be someone, Grady.
Somebody has to step up. Whether that means Joe checking into the game and having 9 points, 4 assists.
I think Ernest is the key, too.
If Ernest checks in and gets us, he catches 3 lobs and 1 putback and has 6 rebounds, then I think it's going to be hard.
And his guy doesn't score. And that's the thing. We're talking about the Arkansas game. We're talking about the UConn game. Guys with bigs. If Ernest can come in there and, hey, KJ can guard all 4. If we're playing UConn, they play those 2 bigs. Hey, if you can have Ernest at the 5 and him go in there and not be able to let his guy score back to the basket and go grab his rebounds and be a threat running to the basket, that right there it's a recipe for success for us. And then having Joe come off the bench and knocking a couple threes, hitting, even at a 45% clip in this month of March, that can be the deciding factor.
For sure. I appreciate everyone tuning in. Send us, tweet us, reply, comment your brackets. Want to see them. Want to see what you guys think. Want to see what you guys have for your March Madness Dark Horse Cinderellas. Let us know in the comments down below. And hopefully KU can make another run to going back-to-back.
Yeah, final note here. This will be our signing off card. I have Kansas beating Alabama in the national championship 78-12. So let's make that happen. Rock chalk, baby.
78-12?
Yeah, 78-12. I couldn't think of a number.
On a more realistic note, I have KU winning in the national championship versus Creighton 64-73.
More real note. You have Creighton in your national championship, dog.
Hey, I'm not saying it, but if they would have had Cockburner last year, they would have given us a run for our money.
All right, that's enough for episode. You have Mitch talking out his ass. All right, thank you for joining us for another episode of Rock Chalk Unplugged. Me from Chris Tehan and Mitch Lightfoot, we thank you guys. Rock Chalk, baby.